Hey friends, Mike McCurry here with my wife Rebecca.
Hello.
And we are currently in the San Jose airport with one of our daughters, Miss Lucy. I don't know if you can hear her or not, but we are coming back from a wonderful week out here in Northern California. Well, the weather hasn't been wonderful, but the people and churches and whatnot have been great.
Today's been the nicest day and we're going home.
Yeah, exactly. We appreciate so much you taking the time to join us today on the Bible Tract Echoes radio program. This week has been a little different. It's been almost vlog style, or just kind of following along on some of our travels. Previously this week we talked about how God led us to Bible Tracts Incorporated in this ministry. And today we're going to talk about traveling as an evangelist family. And you got to realize, me saying I'm an evangelist, or God calling me to that, me following God's leading, it could take a toll on the family, and they bear the brunt of it. And either I go and travel by myself, and let's back up. Evangelist, someone who evangelizes, travel the country and the world preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. And of course that goes hand in hand with the ministry of Bible Tracts Incorporated, the ministry I get to direct. But if I'm going to go travel, what do I do with my family? Well, we decided pretty early on that I wasn't just going to say see ya for months and
with the age
years
that
at a time.
the girls are so young.
Right.
We just think it's important for them to have both parents as much as possible.
Absolutely. And so we have two girls, Emmy and Lucy. Lucy is having a grand old time just playing away here in the San Jose airport. We got about an hour or so until our flight. But normally we don't travel by airline. Normally we're on the road. And
normally, we are always very well taken care of, but normally we're extra spoiled because we have our motorhome that we get to travel in, and the girls enjoy having all their toys and snacks easily accessible. And I enjoy the snacks easily accessible too, as well as the bathroom that travels with us. It's a lot less stopping, and they have their own beds that they're used to, and so the majority of the time we have that, and we are very, very blessed to have that.
Yeah, and just one of those things that maybe you wouldn't consider right off the bat. I bet you a lot of the men out there, a lot of the dads, those of you that pay the gasoline bill and the fuel at the fuel pump, yes, that it's a gasoline RV. One of these days, maybe the Lord will provide a diesel pusher for us or something with some legitimate towing ability. But the gasoline RV gets about 6 miles to the gallon. And so for a quick trip out here to California like we have this week, we're out here from like a Saturday to the following Monday, so like 9 days or so. And driving 3 full days from Illinois out here, and then 3 full days back with a gas bill and all that. Normally, if I'm going to drive that far, try to string together maybe a month of meetings or something like that, just trying to be good stewards. Of course, many of the churches we go to are very kind in helping defray the travel expenses and things like that. But so this time, we flew out here. We probably fly on average as a family 2-3 times a year, maybe 4 on a busy year. Lucy's just dropping stuff all over the place.
Speaking of
having a grand old time.
Come here. We're just gonna wipe her.
Lucy
nose.
has been enjoying single childhood. Have you been enjoying being a single child? Do you miss your sister so much, Lucy? She's silent. Oh, she nodded a little bit. Well, they can't hear you on the radio when you nod, but she nodded a little bit. She said when we left, the gentleman, Todd Lofbaum, who works at Bible Tracts, he asked, "Are you going to miss your sister?" And she said, no hesitation, no. So we maybe need to work on the sisterly love just a little bit. She says now she misses her sister. So, of course, traveling with kids, how's that?
I was going to say, one of the things we learned early on was to bring a little, I call it my go bag, that has the medicine, the Tylenol, the Band-Aids, the cough drops, all those things. So I felt like every trip something was happening and we were having to stop at Walgreens or Walmart, and $10, $20 later every trip. And when we get home, we now have 5 bottles of Tylenol. So of course this trip, like every other trip, I packed the the little bag, but I didn't bring the Tylenol. I brought every other child medicine,
So
but
now we
for
have
some
6
reason
bottles.
we must have run out of it last time in the bag, and I forgot to replace it. So we had to grab some Tylenol this trip. Lucy got little stomach bug, and
Yeah, I
and
mean,
now she's got all the snot, and so lots of tissues. But that's one thing of having the motorhome. We usually have all those extra things, the tissues. And,
well, that's one thing. Where there's been some
that.
friends that have been curious about the reality of being on a perennial road trip, and now if we can talk about it. 4 minutes. We're at a big conference out here in California, and it was like Tuesday night. 4 minutes before the service starts. I mean, we're talking probably a couple thousand people there, and choir is about to sing the opening song.
We were sitting very close to
We
the
were
front.
like 6th row of like 30 rows, a massive amphitheater style auditorium. And Lucy had been complaining that her stomach hurt a little bit, but you know kids,
Yeah.
right? They don't mean it, right? Well, she meant it this time.
And I'm bouncing her on
this
my
is-
knee.
yeah,
telling
this-
her,
this week.
No, it's okay. It's good.
Yeah, and Lucy, this lovely child
What
that's
happened?
here, and those of you that are watching right now, you can watch the video version on YouTube if you want to see Lucy making all kinds of interesting faces at the camera.
She's obviously feeling fine.
She's
just
feeling fine now,
minus
but
all the snot.
4 minutes. I remember. Yes. All right.
All right, come here.
Lucy's gonna try to steal the show here. 4 minutes before the service starts, she decided to empty the contents of her stomach all over you and the nice carpet and my shoes, my tie, because your tie hangs down. I was leaning forward to comfort her, and it projected just a little bit, and so that was and
In the
I feel like-
grand scheme of things, it's not quite as dramatic as I felt it was at that
No,
moment.
no.
I felt
There's so many
very
people milling
helpless.
around that they don't even notice. It's just, it's just too much
It's
going
just
on.
normal for somebody to stand there with handfuls of puke that they just got from.
I was trying not to say that word.
I don't know. We
Might
love
have
to
some
say
people
that.
with
I don't know.
sensitive
I'm
stomachs
sorry.
out there.
Well, if you didn't see it coming, that's why.
So that's reality on the road, and
So
then
I went back to the Airbnb, and poor Lucy's, she was on the floor this week, so she was on the floor at the Airbnb, and she was feeling better the next day, and then she started complaining her stomach hurt, and I thought, we're not going to chance it. We'll just stay home again. We don't want the church mad at us for her getting sick twice in their church. So, but yeah, we laid low for the next couple days, and she's doing fine. But just it's part of being a mom and juggling. I mean, if we were at home, she'd be
kids
sick
would
and-
kids would get sick at home, and just our home happens to be all over the place sometimes. And the nice thing about having the RV is it feels like home. What did Emmy say the other day? We had it winterized, for the whole winter, been in the garage, hadn't got it out.
And I went in to to wash the bedding and stuff, and Emmy follows in behind me, and she goes, "Oh, it is so good to be home." And I'm like, I'm glad you feel that way about our motorhome, because I love it, and I'm glad the girls love it. We're getting ready to head out. We get back from this trip in a few days at home, and we'll set the RV and take it out for the first time. And
have about 2
hopefully-
weeks, and depending on when you're listening to this, it can be sometimes spring. Spring can delay a little bit, and winter can linger a little bit. So, Lord willing, it will not be too chilly normally, and hopefully you can hear me over the background noise of the airport. Gives a little ambiance, I guess, to where we are right now with Lucy and the airfield and all that. And so anyway, we normally try not to take it out if it's below about 20 degrees Fahrenheit. And so, Lord willing, we won't have any issues with pipes freezing or anything like that.
I hope not.
But one of the nice things about having the RV is that when we're at a place, I can stay in fellowship for a good long while. The kids need to get to bed sometimes, and normally we're parked right in the church parking lot. And so my wife's able to take Emmy and Lucy out. They can go to sleep, and when they're partied out,
Yeah,
they can
one
crash.
question we get a lot with the girls is, do you homeschool? And we get to do a little bit of both, which is really neat. Our church has a small Christian school, and the curriculum that we use, we're able to take it with us when we travel. I went to school for teaching, so it's very easy for us to just pick up where the teacher is going to be teaching while we're gone. And we have the motorhome, makes it extra nice. And we have our spot that we sit and do Emmy's work. And it makes it nice and easy.
Yeah. So I'm curious what questions you, our listeners, might have for a traveling family. Of course, we don't probably go to half as many churches as some evangelists do, and some are far more traveled than we are. But Lord willing, we'll be, let's see, in the next couple weeks, we'll be in New York. I'm coming back out to California. That's a solo trip because it's kind of a rubber band, real quick trip again. So I'll be in California again. We'll be in New York, got Illinois, Wisconsin, Ohio, Iowa, all over the Midwest. Got later in the year going out to Florida, kind of here, there, and everywhere. So if you have any questions about the Ministry of Bible Tracts Incorporated, any questions about what it's like to travel as an evangelist family, would love to hear those. And greatly appreciate you following along today. I should mention, if people would like to follow along and get just a prayer update or a text update about what we're doing and where we are, I'm actually going to, when we are finished with this broadcast, I'm going to send a quick little video from the San Jose airport out to some folks, just kind of a behind the scenes. You guys are getting the real behind the scenes today. But if you'd like to continue to get those and follow along with the McCurry family, you can text the word travel. That's TRAVEL. That's travel, TRAVEL, to this phone number, 309-316-7240. Again, that number is 309-316-7240. And we've had a wonderful time talking to you today. I appreciate very much my wife coming on the broadcast with me, even though being on the radio, being on camera is not her favorite thing. As I mentioned, if you'd like to see the video version and like to see our little resident clown, Lucy, if you'd like to see her in the flesh, you can hop over to our YouTube channel, and I'd recommend, that's Bible Tracts Inc. Just search for Bible Tract Echoes, Bible Tracts Inc. And we'll ask Lucy if there's anything she wants to say before we sign off here. One second, Lucy. But if you'd like to just subscribe to that, she's had her tongue out for like the entirety of the last, I don't know, like...
Well, maybe on the next episode we can show you. I think I know why she has her tongue out. It might have to do with something we picked up to bring back to Illinois.
Oh, yeah. Let's show you. One of the great things about traveling is you get to experience some very interesting food.
It's not good for the waistline.
Not good for the waistline, but it tastes so good. Thank you so much for joining me, Miss Lucy.
Tell them, say,
talking to the
listen
microphone.
tomorrow.
Say, listen tomorrow. She is 4 years old. She's not a baby. Anyway, thank you for listening. I appreciate so much you joining us. Oh, you can't tell them about the donuts. Listen tomorrow. God bless. Have a great day for His glory.